So I have a combination food adventure and food non-adventure to report today, which is that I went to this somewhat novel little place called Bite, which was a restaurant inside of a house that had very little seating. I mean, it wasn't an active house, but it was very clearly a building that was constructed for residential purposes, and then was overhauled in only the most superficial ways to turn it into a restaurant. Um, but not food adventures insofar as I only got a side of French fries there because I'm being super stingy with money. But there was I got I got to eat exciting foods there because Mike got a creme brulee that we split around the table. So I had some burnt cream, and there were some donuts that had blackberry sauce, I think, that I got to try. And there were some fresh tomatoes that I tried, and it was all exciting stuff. I didn't actually like the fresh tomatoes that much. They were tiny little baby tomatoes. But the restaurant seemed interesting, and I'll probably go back there at some point. If I was in the habit of spending money for other than social purposes to go out and eat, I think I would like to systematically tour every single restaurant, starting at my house and just moving progressively outwards to more and more distant restaurants. There's like a little place across the street from my apartment complex that my apartment complex frequently hosts social nights at, where there's free food for residents here. Um, so I guess nominally that we become friends or whatever. I'm not sure what the profit motive of the apartment complex is in this, other than to seem like a good apartment complex. But I've never been there and I've heard bad things about it, but it's so close that it feels wrong somehow to not have tried it once. I just start there, and then there's a White Castle across the street, which White Castle is obviously probably terrible, but I've never been to a White Castle, and I know I have a lot of pop cultural associations with White Castle because of a Kingdom of Loathing quest that referenced it, and probably the Kingdom of Loathing quest referenced a Harold and Kumar movie that I also have not seen and don't know anything about, other than what I've read in the Kingdom of Loathing wiki and then forgot about. Food debris in my beard. Disgusting. I was going to do a new shower FMV because I had the daylight white balance setting on this camera when I did my one shower FMV from this location. And also, when I did that one, I probably didn't have my fabric shower curtain yet, which is a nice fancy thing to have that I acquired at some point when Veronica was coming to visit, and I was fancying up the place. But I then decided that I was too lazy, and I would simply climb in bed and do FMV here. Or more like climb in bed and fall asleep. But then I was like, wait, I have to do FMV. Work has been different. It's gone from being in training forever to people have unrealistic expectations of me. And I'm practically the direct supervisor for 14 people, and nominally the supervisor for 7 of those people, but only kind of, and they want us to do things that Tool doesn't do using this tool. And they want them immediately, and also we don't have access to that tool. I feel like I've maybe told this story on FMV already. It's easy to lose track. Being the point of communication for 14 people sure makes you appreciate how much you say the same thing over and over and over and over again in that role. It's just like I'm trying to communicate a very basic thing to you, and I say it to one person, and then another person comes in and asks the question I just answered, and I answer it again, and then we repeat, and then we repeat, and repeat and repeat and repeat and repeat, and we're still not done yet because that's not 14. And you try and group them all up, but it's not super easy.